All right, welcome Aquarius. We're going to use the Deviant Moon deck, which we haven't used in a while, but first we're going to get a chakra card and see if we can get a little hint regarding what this reading might be about. I feel like the flames of destruction will ignite a rebirth. It has to do with the sacral chakra. So, I mean, if this is a career reading, it seems to imply that if you lost a job or you had some kind of an unexpected upset in your finances, it's actually a good thing because something better is, it coming into creation because of that. If it's a love reading, there's renewed passion here and possibly some kind of an ego death, or, if you think that something has been destroyed, I rather think that it's a burning down of an ego, which of course ignites a rebirth. There could be a new beginning in love. Or it could be a new connection. Anyway, let's just start the reading and see. Somehow that will probably piece itself together somewhere in the reading. All right, so I'm feeling 5 and 4. Show me the current situation, and we'll see if we can, in 3, take it from there. 2 more. This deck is a little bit unusual. 1 more. Show me the current situation or something, a reference point. Okay, so there's 3 coming out. 6 of Swords, definitely your reading. So that's Mercury in Aquarius. Wow, the Empress, wow. And the Wheel of Fortune. So there's Libra, Taurus, Aquarius, Sagittarius, and Pisces energy here. So I believe that you could be looking back at the past here. There's something that's coming up in your future that is a good change. There is something that you're noticing about this whole past, present, future. And I think what you're noticing here is that what happens to you, what's happening in your life, if we can call that the future, as you know, the future, there's no such thing. There's also no such thing as the past. All that ever exists is the present moment. So now, while it is true that there is evidence, that of the past, what it is really this constant manifestation process. But in the Wheel of Fortune card, the real meaning of that card is cause and effect, and that in fact there is no need to suffer anymore in the future once you've mastered the whole manifestation process. In the original Wheel of Fortune card, there were 3 possible destinies, 3 fates that are possible. And one of them, once somebody has learned the whole process of manifestation, and that it involves a choice, and that it involves thought. And I think this is what you're figuring out here, because you're looking back at the 6 of Swords. What is the 6 of Swords about? It's about the mind becoming calm and dropping the worries. It's sailing away from the shore of the 5 of Swords, pushing off and choosing to drop the stress and the, not allowing the mind to take over and run this horrible negative thought that runs through everybody's mind in the 5 of Swords. One of the, lessons in the Wheel of Fortune is that there is no cause, really. There is no need for any further suffering. You can transcend and transmute karma. In other words, you can impact, call it the future, but it involves a high degree of ascension and a knowing knowing how and why things manifest. Why can a good result? Why do some people get good results? Why do some people seem to always manifest, drama or negative things in their life? Well, some of you might argue with me, but if you ask, a monk who meditates in the Himalayas, they don't speak anyway, but one of the lessons that they teach is the incredible, unbelievable power of the mind and, the quantum field and how things manifest. It's a bit mysterious and actually it's somewhat scientific. But these three cards, I believe, are a very, very good example. I was just rolling this deck of why things don't need to be difficult anymore, and I think you're figuring that out here. A simpler interpretation of this is that you may be gearing up to move on. You may be wondering, am I really ready to let go of the past? Is someone going to catch up to me, in terms of them not being low vibrational anymore? Because again, it looks like there's one person in this boat, and I don't think it's you. So you may be having a feeling that somebody is coming toward you or traveling toward you, and with the Wheel of Fortune, what you could be wondering is, oh God, is this person going to go back to their bad habits? What can I expect from this person who appears to be coming toward the Empress? What's going to happen? Are we going to go back into this? Because this can be, if somebody does not learn from their errors, or somebody chooses not to notice that they themselves have a massive impact on what they manifest, then what's going to happen is they're going to keep manifesting the same, whatever it is in their life that they're manifesting. It's going to continue if they haven't mastered that, if they haven't taken mastery over the whole process of manifestation. I just wanted to show you something here. So there could be somebody that you just have this feeling is coming toward you, and you may be trying to figure out, what has this person, what's going to happen? Is this a good or a bad bet? What are the ramifications? Has this person learned a lesson? Am I going to have to warn this person again? If this, then that. Because, there's a couple of things that could be going on in this card. It does appear that somebody is giving somebody else a warning. That wheel is just going to turn. And in all likelihood, one of the things that this person is explaining, and remember, this person looks very shocked. So they could be shocked about the three fates. Maybe she's saying, look, and by the way, she kind of looks like, sort of like a gypsy. So I don't think that's you. I think this is, this is some kind of, mystical interpretation of the lesson of the wheel. So let me just state the lesson in really simple terms. Let's start with the first fate, which is that this is where people believe that they can take certain actions and that there won't be any ramifications for them, whether the action is good or bad. So somebody, for example, steals from someone, or they deprive someone, they don't pay somebody back, or they do something that they are aware that they've taken an action that's caused somebody else suffering. at some point, there will be, it is not God or Spirit doing this. These are just ramifications in this 3D. At some point, they will be on the receiving end of what they did to that other person. But in the first fate, the first fate is for people who fail to realize that's what's happening. They don't match, they don't connect the dots, and because frankly, they don't believe it. They don't see a logical connection. They think it's too remote. I know this is happening to me because so-and-so, is a jerk. It's not because I did this to somebody else in the past. They probably forgot what they've done in the past. So that person is likely going to do a lot of suffering if they've caused others to suffer. So the second fate is where somebody, for some reason, they've done something and they feel the onslaught of something coming toward them, but they feel like they can't avoid it. So what they do is something that is very wise. They go through the suffering. However, they find a way, they find the silver lining. So they end that suffering, but the problem is they did have to experience the ramifications of something that they did, okay? Now get ready for the third one. The third one is a little bit shocking. The third one is where you catch it in advance and you avoid what everyone else thought was absolutely unavoidable. How is it done? Well, through a very huge amount of meditation ascension. You have to have the secret of the monk in the Himalayas. The people who can do that are people who have avoided. For example, if someone has been given a diagnosis that you're definitely going to die, it's going to happen within 6 months, blah, blah, blah. It's impossible for you to recover. So the person in this third category, yes, they can avoid the suffering. They can avoid. They can also avoid a karmic event that they themselves caused. But it involves an enormous amount of connecting with spirit and, transformation. Okay, so nobody, once, as you can see, once somebody masters the whole process of what's going on here, and so this person would have to have an absolute total faith in a power higher than one's self. They would have to understand that what we're looking around and what we're looking at right now doesn't matter. This is the 3D. They would have to not care about what the public thinks of them. They would have to not be bothered about what their parents think, etc. It requires someone who has an absolute direct connection to spirit and who has faith, a busload of faith, as Lou Reed once said. Okay, I think it was him anyway. It takes a busload of faith to get by. All right, so this could be what you're thinking here, because this is moving on. This is getting into clear water. Anyway, let's just keep going. You are coming up as the Empress, so you're in an excellent. You're sitting pretty there because the Empress generates. She generates her own income. She is abundant in a number of ways, not just financially. It's an abundance of ideas, an abundance of love, an abundance. She's in a state of abundance, and she did it. It came from her or him. This could be a masculine. Show me more, please. Okay, wow. Now, the card that follows the Wheel of Fortune normally is Justice, but in this deck, Justice has swapped places with the Strength card, and I have to figure out what the heck is going on here. All right, so for some of you could be wondering if there has been another person who caused, you trouble or caused an injustice, and you had to, cut ties with that person. And you're wondering, why hasn't this other person, why haven't they suffered the way they made me suffer? What's happening here is, and I always caution you guys not to worry about that. And then I usually go to the quote from Romans, "Take not vengeance upon yourselves. For the Lord hath said, vengeance is mine, I will repay. So if thine enemy hunger, feed him. If thine enemy is thirsty, give him something to drink. For in doing so, thou shalt heap coals of fire on his head." In other words, it's not up to you. The less you care about, whether someone who's hurt you, what the ramifications are, or if they have learned their lesson yet, the less you look at it, the more Spirit will step in. And for some of you, what's happening here is, because the Wheel of Fortune, the reason why justice follows the Wheel of Fortune is that if for people who do not learn, who do not, cease and desist, from repeatedly hurting others, you may think for a while that it never catches up to them. Oh, but it does. If you do not deal with, if you do not atone, if you don't go into the second or third stage in the Wheel of Fortune, this will step in. And when I said that the Wheel of Fortune, it isn't Spirit or God doing it, it isn't in the Wheel of Fortune, but here it is. There is spiritual justice here. In the original Justice card, there is a purple curtain. And the Lady Justice, I know this may sound a bit wacko, but I did a reading once on what happens after we die. What is the process? You're not facing God. You're not facing any of the archangels. You're not, when you get a little record of what you've done and what you accomplished and what you didn't. And then you go and you face the lady in the Justice card. That's who you're facing. And God is standing on the sidelines praying for you. So in that purple curtain, is a record of all of the tiny little nice things that you've done, even the times that you've smiled at someone that, who really didn't deserve any, they didn't deserve your mercy or grace, but you gave it to them anyway. All the times that you refrained from getting back, at someone, all of that, there's a record that it's like credit that racks up. Now, conversely, if this person has done a lot of damage and mean things, that also racks up. And right here is where Spirit steps in. This is where the Lord says, vengeance is mine, I will repay. So now, for others of you, there may be a masculine, or, you could switch the roles, okay, masculine or feminine. There may be somebody in your life who has not gotten rid of some kind of karmic energy. And for that reason, something may be happening, or something, that person you may have experienced a little bit of some karma in a bad way with cause and effect because of your involvement with somebody. If this person was still attached, if this person hadn't moved on from someone, and this person is unaware that they're carrying energy from a toxic past partner, you know, this could be something else that you're noticing. That's just for some of you, okay? Could be dealing with a Libra here or a Pisces. The other thing, I mean, that this could be is that someone has rebalanced, someone has learned their lesson, someone, but for some reason I'm getting a sort of a negative feeling here from this. It could be, the King of Cups could be someone who is noticing that something was off balance. In other words, something was one-sided. You know, there could be someone who's learned their lesson here. Someone who is considering investing their cup, and who is realizing that something was not fair. Let's just keep going here. Show me more, please. Yeah, there's the past. Yep. There's the past, the Six of Cups. Okay. All right. So we've got Sun in Scorpio here. So you could be dealing with Scorpio and the Justice card, which is associated with Libra. So I believe that King of Cups character is longing for the past. There could be memories that someone has of you. The carving here of the Six Cups in the puppet booth are supposed to represent, I just saw 2222, by the way, memories that somebody has in a tangible form, but the past is unattainable. Now, with the Justice card here, this could go one of two ways. Somebody could be thinking that he or she was not fair to you in the past, that, you know, somebody could be looking back at the past and realizing that they didn't invest emotionally, or that they were unfair, or they didn't have any scruples. And somebody could be wishing, you know, that they could go back. But of course, you know, you can't. The past is unattainable. There's something here that, you know, that cannot be, the past can't be rewritten. What's happened has happened. But remember that the Six of Cups also has to do with a reunion, a coming together. So somebody may want to come together in a more balanced way. Let's just keep going. Show me more, please. Oh, wow. Yeah, this is actually good. Okay. All right. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Six of Cups. There is a possibility here of a brand new slate, a new beginning. You know, in addition to that, someone may actually be thinking, wishing that they had, you know, offered you, you know, a giant pentacle in the past, or someone may be thinking that you were an Ace of Pentacles in the past. Someone may want a brand new slate. Someone could be wishing, longing that they could just begin again. Wouldn't it be an incredible gift to be able to go back and behave properly? You know, somebody may now be gearing up to offer a reunion. Someone may be making an offering that involves a reunion, a coming together. By the way, where we've already had the Empress, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Six of Cups, for those of you who are young and wondering if you can have a child, this reading is screaming yes. Okay, because there have been a lot of cards of fertility. The dragon here in this deck grasping this pentacle, the idea here is that the dragon is holding the entire universe in his little hands there. And that he is now in harmony with the material world and the spiritual world. So, this could be an indication that a reunion is now possible because something is now balanced. Somebody has now balanced their material side with their spiritual side, so that there could be a chance for a coming together of twin flames here. Let's just keep going. Show me more. So it could be involved with an earth sign as well here. Virgo, Taurus, Capricorn. Show me more, please. All right, now I knew something was going to start coming out here. All right. Let's just see what this is, because there's... All right. All right, so we've got some Gemini energy all of a sudden here. Let's just see if I can figure out what's going on. We've got the Eight of Swords, which is Jupiter and Gemini. It involves where thinking and shortened, incomplete thought, confusion, lack of confidence, worries, expanding on negative thought are causing restrictions. And the Magician over there, that can be good or bad. The theme here could be that negative thought, because remember that the Magician is the ultimate manifester. But of course, it depends on what the Magician is manifesting. There may be some kind of a lesson here, because the Magician, it involves the use of the mind. The Magician channels and manifests with the mind. So in other words, if something very negative is going through somebody's mind, it can be somebody very manipulative. It can also be somebody doing spell work in the reversed energy. So let me think about this for a minute. I don't like those shadowy figures there. Yeah, so when I said that it depends on what the Magician is manifesting, this person is incredibly gifted and talented. So there's two ways that these talents could be put to use, and they're also very creative as well. The creative could be put to good use or ill use. The problem is, in this deck, when this person is putting their gift to ill use, there is confusion that is caused. And there's a great deal of confusion in this card. I'm just wondering, why is the Eight of Swords there? I'm going to clarify here. Our only problem is this card. Why the heck is that there? Why is the Eight of Swords in this? Okay, there's three in this reading. Oh, Seven of Swords. Whoa, yeah, there's the choice. There's the bloody choice. So somebody may well have done something very unfair in the past. I mean, there's an idea down here of somebody trying to get away with being exposed, someone wondering over here, you know, if something is going to be exposed, somebody trying to get away with exposure, or somebody having done something very sneaky, but it looks like it didn't impact you at all, because what I'm seeing you doing is making the right spiritual choice, and you're simply not paying any attention to what's gone on back there. There could have been somebody who was being quite manipulative and trying to stress you out or to keep you mentally trapped through some kind of deception. And maybe they're, you know, hoping to have a chance to do this again. It looks like you're going to be making the absolute correct spiritual choice here. You may want to know if somebody who's stolen from you is going to jail, or there's an idea here of you being safe, okay? And there's also a very, very strong suggestion with the Magician card up there. The use of the mind and the use of the mind can go all over the place, all over the place. The Seven of Swords is all about the mind strategizing. This is a very sophisticated mental, this has been planned out to the nth degree. This is a very sophisticated plan, meaning that a lot of thought has gone into it. But there's something extremely deceptive here. You know, so let's just continue here. I'm not sure what's going on up here. There's obviously somebody who's cooking something up. Show me a little bit more, please. Okay, there's 3 coming out. Okay, now we have a Queen of Cups. Interesting. King of Wands. Okay. What's happening up there? What is going on up there, please? There's some kind of a truth about cheating or something. I feel like you've got some evidence or something. There's a truth that you may be seeking. There has been some kind of trickery that was well hidden, but there's something that you have. There's like a droplet of evidence up there. Notice how there's almost like it's supposed to be paint, but it looks like blood, and there's something that's dripping into that woman's hand. I mean, it looks like it's a clear substance here. And in the middle, we have a King of Wands who is, those aren't children, those are entities, okay? They're like little devils, little demons. They're entities. And it could be causing that person's behavior to be corrupt. Over here we have, I feel like this is your side of things, because this person is demanding truth and being very open, honest, and frank. And there's somebody here who is very inflamed and triggered. And notice how this person, it could be coming at somebody with physical force or anger or some kind of wandish passion that could be, threatening to destroy something. But all that this person has that, well, not all, they are armed, they are more heavily armed, but they have a truth. So this is way more powerful than whatever this person is about to do or to try to do. Let's keep going. Could be dealing with a Leo, Sag, Gemini here, or a Cancer. Let's keep going. Okay, there's 3 coming out again. Okay. Well, something is going to be exposed. It's just a matter of time. And something comes to a beautiful completion here. There's the World. What's really interesting is this card. And there's a watch around her neck, and there is a clock hanging from this little boot here. And some kind of exposure. So this is the 4 of Pentacles. Here we go. And they're looking back. Whoa, that could be a lawman, King of Swords. Okay, just a moment here. Yeah, boy, are things ever going to be straightened out. There may have actually been a theft. Someone may have held back money from you. Someone may have held back money from a lawman or a judge. So if this has to do with some kind of an inheritance, something unfair has happened. It's because of somebody's greed, and there is a karmic here. That's probably the entity attached to that King of Wands. Somebody is trying to hide something. Over here, this is either a lawman or somebody, or a judge. This is somebody who's making a very important, powerful decision. And there's the sword that we just looked at. That person this is the sword of truth that you had. There's going to be some kind of a decision that's aligned with the truth. There's somebody very frightened here, very frightened of a decision that this person is making. It looks like there's been greed, money being held back. It could be something having been stolen, theft. Something you may have been waiting for a very, very long time for something to complete. Something may have been held up. Something cannot, there's a time limit on how long this person can conceal or hold back that money or conceal that information or whatever it is. The clock is ticking. Their time is going to be up very soon. So something could happen during Pisces season. If you feel like there's been an inheritance held back from you, or you're waiting on a legal decision, and you feel like somebody, has held back money or stolen from you or is holding back information, this could be resolved during Pisces season, which is right after your season. It runs from February 19 to right up to March 19 or 20. There is a complete resolution at that point. And it looks like there will be justice. There is some kind of, that could be a policeman. It's some kind of legal authority. And it's going to be in alignment with the truth. Somebody is going to be exposed. Perhaps that's why, that Ace of Pentacles could have been an inheritance that was supposed to go toward you in the past. It may have been a will that was written up in the past. This may have to do with a parent or a father or a grandfather or a mother or a grandmother. For many of you, this has to do with money that was held back that's coming toward you as a result of a legal decision. So this person, somebody here who was very greedy and very selfish, who places money, being top importance over everything else. this person is literally unprepared for their doom. They're about to meet it. So, I mean, this could be you. In this deck, it's usually a lawmaker. So it could be a judge. But it's somebody who has a very strong will and who is very determined. And their willpower lasts right to the very end till something is resolved. They are disciplined and logical. In this deck, the world is about, it's actually about triumph and hard-fought victory. It's about a successful outcome over adversity. And in fact, these two sort of beasts, you know, that are at her feet, she has overcome these beasts, you know, on her journey. So this is an extremely good outcome. Sorry, Aquarius, I don't know what just happened. A tape cut off at some point. I don't even know how much. Until I edited, I don't know where it cut. But anyway, there's a very good outcome, something wrapping up with a good decision. And I was going to ask from the regular deck, there's that King of Cups again, is there any further guidance for Aquarius? So there's a King of Cups who appears to be quite aggressively handing some kind of an opportunity or trying to get somebody to take. Here we go with the money again. I mean, this could be somebody, this could be somebody who is greedy towards some kind of an inheritance, or this could be somebody who wants you to take an opportunity to commit. Any further guidance for Aquarius regarding this reading? There's going to be some kind of a completion. Whether or not this is a love reading and you're waiting for somebody to offer commitment, this outcome is good. Or whether you're looking at, you know, some question of a legacy of money, this reading is good. There is a completion here. Again, we've got the World card, which is where we left off, which was a win, a victory for you. And if for those of you who didn't see the earlier part of the reading, in the Deviant Moon, the World card, there is a woman who is experienced triumph. She, after a hard, long battle. Anyway, Aquarius, I'm sorry that this reading took so long. I am going to get one word of advice from Spirit. What is the final advice for Aquarius in this reading? All right. Love overcomes all obstacles. A change in attitude is all it takes to turn things around. In other words, that happens in your mind. Trust in love's power. It will transform you and the one you love. All will soon clear. Wow. All right, thanks for watching, Aquarius.